Hi, guys. We're so glad you're with us again today. We have Dr. Arriaza with us, who is such a powerhouse speaker. He's an international wellness speaker and a doctor of chiropractic. He's had several health practices down in Southern California since he was 24 years old. And his passion is nutrition and detoxification. He's very knowledgeable about that. And in fact, he's developed an entire line of products about that. He's going to share that with us today. We're really excited to have him on here with us today to share and teach us about detoxing. How, where, why, when, all the particulars. So we're so glad you're with us, Dr. Arriaza, and welcome to the show.
Oh, Becky, it is my pleasure. It's always an honor to be in these forums. You never know who is listening. You never know where people are in their life, in their health, in their happiness, in their relationships, and you never know what type of impact you and what you do. You don't know that type of impact, the impact that we have or you have on people. So this is really, really important to me. You know, whenever I have this opportunity to share the message about becoming healthier and possibly transforming their life, it's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
We love it. We're so glad you're here, and it's true. There are people who are across the spectrum, and somebody like you just can change a life with a few sentences. It's great.
Well, you know, there's one of my mentors, my first mentor actually, he said a long time ago, his name is B.J. Palmer, and he said, you never know how far-reaching what you may say, think, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. It is better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. Get the big idea, and all else will follow. And for the last 22 years, I've been really, really sharing with people on the opportunity of having their big idea in their life, regardless what it is. If it's, you know, being a fabulous stay-home mom, if it's becoming a professional network marketer, if it's being a coach on the football field, whatever it is, you know, God has called us to do different things. And so as long as we are at our best at what we are doing, that transcends, you know, into other people's lives, and it really, really inspires us to do something bigger than what we ever imagined. 2 days ago, I'm a movie buff. I'm a YouTube junkie, and I'm a movie buff. I'm forever, if I have free time, I take the family to watch movies. We would love watching movies, and I love watching movies based on true stories because they're very inspiring. And we just saw a movie 2 days ago. It's called Unbreakable or Unbroken. It's the movie that was. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I heard it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the executive producer is Angelina Jolie, and it is based upon the life of the prisoner of war during World War II, and his name was Louis Zamperini. And throughout the entire movie, it depicts he was an Olympic athlete. Actually, for a small period of time, he was the fastest high school runner in the entire country. And it depicts how the struggles and the challenges and the obstacles and everything that he had to face. And it was really, really cool because when he was, his plane came down, right? His plane wasn't working well, and it came down in the ocean, and they had this little life raft. And they were talking about, you know, the first day and the second day, we were talking about how long people had been out in the ocean on this little life raft, right? And so they were saying how one guy had been out there 26 days, and there's like, oh my goodness, that's unbelievable. Well, 47 days later, he was out there with no water, with no food, okay, for 47 days. The only water he had was when it would rain, and he would, like, you know, they would collect raw water. They ended up catching a fish and eating raw fish, which is not too bad, a little sushi. During the worst time, there were some sharks that were circling, and they actually killed a shark and ate the shark. There were three young men, one passed, right? And so in the most desperate times, and it was a moment where the sun was just out and it was beating on him. They had him and his friend, they had no way to cover themselves. And their skin, I don't know if you've ever been sunburned, but their skin it had like third-degree burn. There were blisters everywhere. He hadn't eaten. He was thirsty. I mean, it was the worst moment of his life. And in that moment, he cried out to God, and he said, if you allow me to get through this, he said, I will serve you for the rest of my life. And, you know, it's interesting because, you know, there's a difference between a promise, a commitment, and a covenant. And most people have never ever made a covenant. And that's why they don't know how powerful they really, really are. We make promises to one another. We make promises to our wives, to our husbands. We make promises to our kids. And we break our promises all the time. And maybe when we get married, we take that promise to a different level and we make a commitment. But even at a commitment level, we still break the commitments. But when you make a covenant with Christ, when you make a covenant with God, it is something that you don't break because the repercussions can be pretty severe. And he made a covenant. And he said, as long as you help me live, I will serve you. And about a day later, he wakes up and there's this huge shadow of a big, gigantic tanker ship coming. He thought, oh my goodness, you answered my prayers. Unfortunately, it was a ship of the Japanese. And there he started another 6 months of the most horrendous physical, mental, emotional abuse that you can ever imagine. But his spirit was never broken. He never compromised his spirit. And I take a lot from that because I see a lot of people, I see that, I look for leadership in everything that we do and everything that we see. And I see a lot of leadership in there. I see a lot of people that get involved in network marketing and their spirits are broken very, very quickly because they've never really made a covenant. They've really never found that profound reason to get up and to live their life as best as. When they do, network marketing is the easiest thing, the most joyful thing, the most lucrative thing you can ever do. So I'm pretty excited right now. I'm very, very excited. That movie has inspired me tremendously.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of heart-wrenching, but that perseverance like that is what's going to carry you through every day, and then things like that too.
When the promise is clear, the price is easy, and that's what we got to keep. That's what we got to keep our eyes on. We got to keep our eyes on the promise. Before I got on with you, I was doing a little studying, and I was listening to Randy Gage, one of my favorite speakers on YouTube, and he's a professional network marketer, who now he's become a coach, but he was in the industry for about 25 years. And in the first 5 years, he was in 7 different companies. 5 years, 7 companies, 7 companies. And in the first 5 years, combined, in 60 months, he made a total in 60 months of $10,000 in 60 months. Okay. He failed, and he failed, and he failed, and he failed, and he failed until he learned who he was, what he could do, and until he latched onto a system. And once he latched onto the system, and he didn't compromise himself at all, his business skyrocketed. Before I got this morning, as I dropped off my kids, I had a call from one of the young ladies who just signed up in Mexico, and she asked me a real interesting question. She signed up under one of my senior vice chairs, and she says, "Okay, so I ordered the mega pack." I said, "Great," and she said, "So I'm gonna break the mega pack down. I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna sell the products." I said, "Oh, you don't want to do that." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because that's not our system." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, if you really want to monetize, systematize, and have network marketing become a lifestyle, don't compromise the system. She says, "Well, what's the system?" I said, "The system is you don't sell products, you sell systems. You introduce a mega pack to people. Well, what if they don't have $4.99? Then you create value. People pay for value. They don't pay for products. They pay for value. The moment that you can verbalize value, the moment that you can take your words and use them like paint on a canvas and become the Rembrandt of nutrition, not because you know all the details, but because the promise is clear, then whether it's $4.99 or $49.99, people will pay it." And she says, "I've never heard that before." I said, "Because most people don't decide to go pro. Most people don't decide to become professionals. So they're just product pushing people that kind of meander through this thing that we call multi-level marketing for years. And after a while, everyone has a tipping point, everyone has a threshold, and they say it didn't work out. This works for everybody. Becky, this works for everybody. I just hope and pray that everyone catches the system and latches on and doesn't compromise himself.
Right. That's one of the things with network marketing that I have stuck with it, because I've gone through that similar path where, you know, I've changed companies, I'm not making much money, but the personal growth, I know I'm going somewhere great.
Yes.
I know this is a journey, and I'm learning so much. I'm a completely different person than I was when I started, and I love the person I'm turning into. So it's so rewarding in that respect. Even if I don't make any money, you know, I'd love to make some money. I mean, that's the end goal.
But you will. Now, I want you, now that you are in that state of mind, right? Now that you are in that state, I want you to remember two things. I want you to remember what Jim Rohn said. Jim Rohn said that success is not something that you work towards. Success is not something that you chase after. Success is something that you attract by the person that you become. So you become more attractive. You see, people aren't looking for friends, they're looking for leaders. But leaders have to be attractive people, not physically. I mean, you're a pretty woman. That's great for you. But those of us that aren't as handsome, well, then we got to work on with what we have, right? So you can make yourself massively attractive from above, down, inside out. And when you make yourself massively attractive from above, down, inside out, people will come up to you and say, "I don't know who you are. I don't know what you do, but I want to get to know you." That is when you're in the zone. And now when you take that, and you believe in what I'm about to tell you, because this is what I got my entire team believing this year, and it's true. If you look at all the top producers, this is the truth. They may not tell you, but this is the truth. One powerful person changes your business. Two powerful people change your life, and three make you a multimillionaire. You are one powerful person from having a very, very strong business. You are two powerful lines from changing your life, and you are three people away from becoming a seven-figure earner. So all we got to do, what's that?
There we go.
So all we got to do, what's that?
I need a Levi. Isn't that your guy, Levi?
That's right. A Levi, a Henry Ospitia, a Jimmy Duran, a Maria Roybal, a Rosalind Pacheco, a Myrna Morales, a Cynthia G. I mean, but those are, in the last 12 months, I've created 9 senior vice chairs and 17 vice chairs. But it's not because of my work, but because that's what I asked for. That's what, yesterday I did a one-on-one. And I asked the gentleman, I said, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you, we will get to the product. I promise you. I will talk about the detox. Okay. I said, what do you want? I asked him. I said, what do you want? This is the book that I'm reading right now. It's called Money: The Seven Steps to Financial Freedom by Tony Robbins. Now
that's his brand new book that he just brought out. I love that guy. Oh my God, just to hear it, and his energy is like electric.
Yeah.
So cool.
Now this is about investing, and I'm not an investor, but I bought it because I like to read of the psychology of people that do all right. So the chapter opens up with a gentleman who started this company called Salesforce One. Now 18 years ago, Salesforce One was a startup company. It's not network marketing. It's a traditional company. 18 years ago, he started off with zero. Little warehouse, 2,000 square feet, about 10 employees. In 2013, his company grossed $5.3 billion.
Billion?
With a B, as in boy.
Whoa.
He's been coached by Tony Robbins for the last 11 years. And Tony Robbins asked him these 5 questions. And these are the 5 questions that he poses to every person that works for him, regardless where they are in the hierarchy, they have to answer these 5 questions. First one is, what do I really want? Which talks about your vision. What do you really, really want? What do you, in the heart of your heart, if you knew you could not fail, what do you really, really want? That's your vision. Second question is, why do you want it? That talks about your value system. Why do you want what you want? Third question, how will you get it? That's the methodology. You see, and I'm just going to be very candid with you. I get a lot of people asking me every day how to do this business. But I usually end up talking to them about why they do the business. Because the how is easy. Nietzsche, this German philosopher, once said, he said, once you have the why, the how just seems to kind of fall into place. But you have to know the system, which is the methodology. So what do you want? Vision. Why do you want it? Values. How are you going to get it? Methodology. What is preventing you from having it? What is preventing you from having it? Your obstacles. And there is only one obstacle. Both of you already know what it is. You can dress it up. You can name it different things. You can justify it. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's fear. It's fear. That's really what it is. And if we would only know what Henry David Thoreau said many, many years ago, he said, when you uncover the layers and layers of fear, all you will find is fear being afraid of itself. And this is what's cool, that this year I'm doing about 60% more training than presentations. And in my trainings, I'm doing about 30% network marketing training and 70% personal transformation training. Because once you get it, it's over. And the fifth question is, how will you know when you've achieved it? So what do you want? Why do you want it? How are you going to get it? What's preventing you from having it? And how will you know when you've achieved it? And the fifth question is beautiful because it's answered by our ranks. You see, you know you are achieving it if you're ranking up. Now, if you're not ranking up, that's okay. We just have to find the patterns that are not helping you. So last night I did a training. We ended at about almost 1 in the morning. And at about 12 midnight, we started talking about patterns. And I started helping them to disassociate themselves from patterns. So I said, how many of you have signed up one person and never came back? Everyone raise their hand. 2 people never came back. So if you signed up 10 people, you sign them up and you don't see them again, you must be saying something that's turning them off. And if you don't know what that is, you're going to keep repeating that pattern that doesn't work. So many of us are so unconsciously incompetent that we don't know that we're killing our own organization. We have the right intention, but we have the wrong patterns. And the minute that you are aware, the minute that you shed the light of awareness on those patterns, your business changes. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we're talking to people about, changing the thought process, change your philosophy, you change your life. If you ask yourself better questions, you get better results. And all of this really is, and I tell this, and contrary to what people may think, because we don't talk about money 24/7, we talk about product quite often, is our liver detox system. You know, a little history on the liver detox system. The liver detox system was created out of necessity. As Becky said, I've been a chiropractor for 22 years. I graduated at the age of 24. I was the second youngest doctor to graduate in our program, and I had no idea on how you do business. My mom and dad, you know, my mom reached the 5th grade, my dad reached the 6th grade. They were illiterate. They couldn't write or read Spanish when they came to the United States. Obviously, they couldn't read and write English, so things were very, very difficult. But through their challenges, through their educational challenges, they had tremendous faith, and they really, really pushed my brother and myself into studying. My brother, he never really caught to the studying. He's a highway patrol officer. He's a beautiful person. Actually, I'm gonna meet him here in about 45 minutes. And myself, I love to learn. I love to learn at a very young age. I did well in high school. I went to college. I did well. I graduated at an early age, but I had no business experience. But what I did do, and I think a little different, and which is the same thing that I did in network marketing, is that I knew that I didn't know. And when I knew that I didn't know, I humbled myself enough to ask. So I came across the #1 chiropractor in Southern California, and I asked him if he can help me. And one thing that I am is I'm very coachable. Like if I want to learn something, then I will ask you 100 questions and I'll do it exactly how you tell me to do it. I'm not gonna add anything to it, because if I see that it's working for you, then I believe it can work for me too. So I asked this chiropractor to give me the system. He gave me the system, and my wife and I started growing. At the age of 30, we had 7 health centers. They were all doing incredibly well. They were seeing, I'm what's considered a straight chiropractor. That means that I don't do any modalities. I don't do any physical therapy. All I did was adjust people. And at the peak, I was seeing between 180 to 190 patients per day, almost 600 patients a week by myself. And between all 4 practices, we're seeing close to 1,500 patients a week. And we were the 2nd largest chiropractic corporation in Southern California. And they were all in, well, 6 of the 7 were in Latin American communities. So after 20 years of practice, and a lot of people got well, a lot of people had great change, I realized that there were some people that would struggle. And the greatest struggles that we had in our practice were people that were overweight, people that had high blood sugar, people that were hypertense. And in the Latin culture, just because of the foods and the things that they do, they tend to develop a lot of lipomas. I can't tell you how. Every month I'd have a dozen new patients with lipomas, little fatty nodules all over their body, right? So my mentor and I, we started studying and we started investigating, and we realized that the liver was like the chief organ of all the endocrine system. We realized that the liver produces 80% of all the chemistry that your body needs in order to survive. The liver produces hormone. The liver is an organ and it's a gland. The liver produces your hormones. It produces cortisol. It produces melanin. I mean, it produces enzymes. It produces bile. It produces so many different things, so many chemicals that we need. But when the liver, which is a filter, when the liver becomes toxic, okay, when the liver becomes toxic, certain chemicals change. One chemical that changes in particular is the estrogen. The liver produces estrogen. For men, the liver produces estrogen. For women, it's the liver and the ovaries. But when the liver is toxic, the estrogen increases. And when the estrogen increases, it inhibits the receptor sites for the thyroid hormone. So a lot of people, as a residual of a toxic liver, they start having challenges with their thyroid. And we all know that our thyroid controls our body metabolic rate. So then we go into what's considered a hypothyroid type of presentation. And people, men and women, they eat less, but they get bigger. They sleep a lot, but they wake up tired. Their hair, their nails, their fingers, their skin, it just doesn't look healthy anymore. So then they go to the medical doctor, right? And we know that medicine does 2 things: gives prescriptions and performs surgeries. So they evaluate you, and immediately the medical doctor says, I know what you have. You have a thyroid issue. So they're given thyroid medication. And that thyroid medication never really does the job. It's palliative care, but that's about it. When they don't know, what they don't know is that the latest research indicates that most people that have a thyroid issue, in specific a hypothyroid issue, it is secondary to a toxic liver. So when you come back and you detoxify the liver, the estrogen decreases, the thyroid function increases, your body metabolic rate increases, you start to shrink, you start to burn more fat, you start having more energy, you have clarity of consciousness, all of your skin, your nails, your hair looks better, and you're back to normal. The problem is not the thyroid for many people. The problem is not the pancreas for many people. The problem is the liver for many people. So when we created this because we wanted to help people drop some weight and balance their blood sugar. We never ever expected that it would have this type of response. 2.5 years ago, we came across Longevity, and I'll make a long story short, but they loved the product line, and we formed an alliance. And now it's one of the best-selling product lines in the company. Just my organization alone probably sells about 1,500 detoxes per month. Just my organization alone, and it is, yeah, it's extraordinary, extraordinary. I say this humbly, every single night that I speak, that I hear new testimonies, I believe them, but I am in awe of how quickly this works. And it works because it's based on your physiology. It's not based on something new or something that we found. It's based on your normal physiology. So this is how normally it works. If you eat things, right, you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we become toxic through what we breathe, what we eat, and what we think, and what we drink, right? Breathe, eat, and drink. That's how toxins come into the body. They go into the body, they go into the stomach churns the food, puts it into the small intestine. In the small intestine, you're going to absorb about 90% of the nutrients, as well as you're going to absorb the toxins. It enters into the liver. Everything that goes before it goes into your general circulation, it's going to go through your liver. Your liver is a filter. It has to pass the liver first. So in the liver, it's going to separate the good and the bad. It's going to separate the nutrients from the toxins. The nutrients get shot up into the general circulation. The toxins stay in the liver. Now, most people are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and have never detoxified their liver. So there's so much toxicity in the liver that in the liver, it's kind of like a sludge. It's kind of like sandy material. So eventually, it starts getting pushed through the common bile duct into the gallbladder. In the gallbladder, it calcifies. Thus, now they become gallstones. Gallstones originate from the sludge of the liver. Now, if you ask a medical doctor about gallstones, he will tell you that I am absolutely incorrect. He will tell you that once you have gallstones, you must have your gallbladder removed because the diameter of the common bile duct is too tiny. But he's never looked at our product. We have the only product on the market that will vasodilate the common bile duct, extract the gallstones, and within 24 hours, you're evacuating gallstones and liver stones. It's one of the most amazing things that we have ever seen. And when I say stones, these are rock hard stones. Cameron D she probably evacuated the largest stone that I've ever seen. It was the size of a quarter. Okay. What's the name of the gentleman from? Oh my goodness, big rock star guy. He was on American Idol. Oh my goodness, long hair, really thin. He was one of the judges on American Idol.
A Rolling Stone guy?
No, not Mick Jagger, but of that era.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
David Bowie? I don't know.
No,
I don't know. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, we had so many. When Charlie Sheen, about 3-4 years ago, Charlie Sheen was going through what he went through, and when he wanted to win and all that stuff, and he was being interviewed by Barbara Walters. He had a water bottle, and he had our True Cleanse in the water bottle, and we were this far away from having True to Life from them from we were this far away from Charlie Sheen saying True to Life on national TV in front of gazillions of people, and he says I have Charlie Life instead of True to Life. He said I had Charlie Life. And there were so many of us watching that interview. We're like, no, say True to Life. And he didn't say True to Life. But things happen for reasons. So after that, we joined Longevity, and it's just been a great combination. I have to let everyone know that I am 90 for life, and I lead with 90 for life. I live by 90 for life. I am 90 for life. This is an adjunct to 90 for life. It's a very powerful adjunct. It works really, really well, but I am 90 for life. If someone asks me, what do I need to take? You need to take 90 for life. Thank God that there is a mega pack, the 1092 mega pack, that brings the liver detox as part of the mega pack. So now people are able to get the best of both worlds. So how does it work? It's very simple. You start off with enzymes. Okay, these are digestive enzymes, and they are metabolic enzymes. Now, a lot of other companies, I'm not going to give the names of other companies, but if you research other health, nutritional, multi-level marketing companies, they have enzymes also, but they've broken up their enzymes. They have the lipolase enzymes for fats. They have the protease enzymes for protein. They have the carbolytic enzymes for carbs, right? And you buy separate enzymes depending upon what you're eating. So you're kind of making people, you're putting the responsibility on people to know what's a protein, what's a carb, what's fat. It sounds kind of easy, but a lot of people get them confused, right? So here we have all three macronutrient enzymes in one. So these are both digestive and metabolic. Now, there's two different types of enzymes. There's digestive enzymes that are going to help you digest the food, but there's also metabolic enzymes. Now, the way you take this is, let's just say that we're going to start on February 1st, okay? On February 1st, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to take one enzyme on an empty stomach. The reason you take an enzyme on an empty stomach is because if you take an enzyme and it goes into your digestive system and there's nothing to digest, then it's going to filter into your entire body, and it's going to serve as a scavenger, and it's going to eat up all the residual inflammation. People that have rheumatoid arthritis, people that have lupus, oh gosh, I'm talking about less than 2 weeks, their pain and inflammation is gone. It is insane how this works, just with the enzymes. I have people that have lupus that are taking 3-4 times the dosage, but it works, and it works fast because they take them on an empty stomach, so they serve as metabolic enzymes. So you take one in the morning on an empty stomach, then you take one 15 minutes before lunchtime, and you're going to do that for 30 days. That's day one. You're going to do enzymes. This is the key, right here. This is the key, because there are times where you are going to fast. You're going to do a 24-hour, 40-hour fast, and all you will take is the True Cleanse. And when people call me and they say, "Doc, I'm hungry," it's only because they haven't taken their enzymes, because their enzymes will curb your appetite. The enzymes will put you into what's called a gluconeogenesis state, which means that your body's going to start to metabolize stored fat for energy. And we've all felt that. You've been to the point where you're so hungry, and you get home, and like your hunger's gone again, right? Like you go beyond the hunger to you're not hungry anymore. And that's because the body's in a state of gluconeogenesis. That's because now the body waited so long, so the body said, "Well, I guess you're not going to feed me, so I'm gonna find energy myself within your body," and it starts to metabolize the fat. So this puts your body into a gluconeogenesis state. So that is why when you are taking your enzymes, you're not as hungry, especially during those fasting moments. This is a True Cleanse. So you're going to take this every day for 30 days, 2 of these every day. This is your True Cleanse. This, very interestingly enough, has 90 nutrients, right? When we came and we said 90 for life, this has 90 nutrients. Now, the function of this is pretty powerful. This is going to do several things. One, this is filled with probiotics, so it's going to strengthen your intestinal flora. A lot of people that have situations like Crohn's disease, like gastritis, esophagitis, reflux, they do very, very well when they take this product, because this is going to coat your intestinal flora, and it's going to promote healing. Okay, it's going to allow you to digest the food a lot better. Now, it also has an insulin-sensitive, and all this is 100% natural. It has insulin-sensitive proprietary blend, so it's going to balance your insulin, which is also going to help you curb your appetite. But here, right here, this is what we call the big dog right here. Okay, this is the actual liver cleanse. Now, I got to let you know, you can't do this by itself. You must do the liver cleanse with these two. Okay, you can't, because for a little bit they had put this as a double QV, and a lot of people bought only the liver cleanse, and they cleansed their liver. They did a 24 to 48-hour cleanse, but they got good results. But some didn't get the results they were looking for, and I said, no, you have to take the entire system. So when you purchase the True Life Detox, it comes with these 3 items here. This is the complete detox. Now, there's a premium detox that comes with shakes and an energy drink, but that's for the people that really, really, really want to lose weight. People will lose weight with this. Last Saturday, I've been gone for a little bit, but last Saturday we had a woman who did it exactly as she was told for 30 days. She dropped 41 pounds in 30 days. Now, she didn't drop 41 pounds in 30 days because she didn't eat. Actually, because you're taking the enzymes, your body's receiving a lot more nutrients than it did before. she lost weight because her liver was detoxified. Now, when you put this with the 90 for life, then you have a crazy firework experience. Again, I am 90 for life. If you have to choose, it's 90 for life. But if you can do them both, it goes from a home run to a grand slam. I'm telling you the truth. So, so this is really cool, this right here, because this is a very, very simple liver detox. And there's two products in here. There's a liver cleanse. There's a liver prep, which is a powder, and then there's a liver cleanse, which is the oil. Okay, I'm gonna give you the biggest mistake people make. On our first day, right, when we do this on our first day, you're gonna have a clean breakfast and a clean lunch. At 2, you must stop drinking and eating everything, including water, because you must give your liver 4 to 5 hours to settle. This doesn't work if your liver is filtering. A lot of people forget the water part. They stop eating at 2, but they continue drinking water. It's going to work, but it won't work the same. At 2 o'clock, you stop everything. At 6 p.m., you're going to take your first dosage of the liver prep. At 8 p.m., you're going to take the second dosage of the liver prep. And at 10 p.m., you're going to take the liver cleanse, which is the oil. You're going to lay on your right-hand side so that oil can accumulate near the ascending colon and the liver, and that is how it's going to encapsulate all the stones and start to evacuate the stones. The liver prep is going to make your liver contract. It's going to make your liver purge. So you will go to the restroom a lot more than normal. The average person that night will probably visit the restroom between 3 to 5 times, and they'll probably visit it a few more times the following morning. And it doesn't hurt at all, but you're going to evacuate in a way that you've never evacuated in your entire life. And within 48 hours, your tummy will be down, because a lot of people have a swollen abdomen due to a toxic liver. I mean, I'm talking about like down a lot. Within 48 hours, you're gonna say, "Oh my goodness, I have not slept this well. I have not felt this much energy." And then by the second day, you start your 90 for life, and it's just, again, it's a grand slam. So a common question is asked to me. They ask me, "Can you do this and the 90 for life simultaneous?" 100%, without a doubt. The only time that you can't take anything is between 2 p.m. and that evening, that first day. That's it. Other than that, you're on your 90 for life. Another question people ask me is, can you take this while you're on medication? 100%. This will not negatively affect someone who is on medication whatsoever. Now, the only people that cannot do this are people who are on dialysis, people who are on chemotherapy, or pregnant moms. Okay. The reason being is because when you detoxify your liver, 70 to 80% of the toxins will be evacuated, but 20 to 30% will go back into the general circulation. So if the mommy's pregnant, then that's going to go back into the bloodstream, which is going to go into the baby. And that's why these two products are so important, because these two products that you take for the next 30 days, your True Cleanse and your enzymes, that's going to finish your complete body detox. And that's the 30 days. That's the True to Life liver detox system.
Wow. So you don't really recommend like a week-long fast, or
no?
You don't think you need to do that. You just eat a clean breakfast, a clean lunch, and at 2 p.m. start those products.
That's correct. Now, if I don't recommend it, but I don't not recommend it, right? So if you want to start cleaning your eating habits up prior, obviously that's wonderful. You don't have to, though. We try not to make it that the minute we talk about fasting, right? It really makes it very hard for people. And what it does is that it deters people from even trying it. So if someone knows that they have to fast for 2 to 3 days prior, I guarantee you a lot of people won't even give it a shot. So will it work? Maybe even a little better? Sure. Do we recommend it? No, because you don't have to. Because it's not a weight loss system. It is a liver detox. The byproduct is that you have a massive weight loss.
Right.
Oh, dude.
Now, just for people who don't understand the term, how do you define a clean breakfast or a clean lunch? What is the clean?
Breakfast, nothing fried. If you're going to have eggs, maybe some hard-boiled eggs, some poached eggs. Minimize your dairy. No sour cream. No milk. No, remove the sugar. No, cornflakes. Have fruits. Vegetables for lunch, maybe some chicken, some boneless, skinless chicken with a nice salad. You can have all the greens that you want. Have a real hearty salad. Decrease the ranch dressing and blue cheese. Increase the vinaigrette. A lot of water. That would be clean.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of like the way we should be eating, anyways.
Yeah. Really.
So no fast food.
We don't have cornflakes in my house.
Yeah.
I will not buy sugar-coated cereal. If you want cereal, you're going to eat it just cereal.
Yeah. So people say, so can I do McDonald's right before this? No, you don't do that.
What? I've done like week-long fasts before, and they just make me feel so much better, like quickly, like I'm not achy. So that's really the liver detoxing thing. That's what's going on there.
No.
But without the extra boost?
No, you're eating. The only time you don't eat is that first day from 2 to midnight. The next morning you're going to eat.
But before I've done it where I've fasted for a week and not eaten, and it makes me feel a lot better.
Well,
is that because of liver detox? No.
Fasting does not equal detoxifying your liver. You're going to feel better because you're giving your digestive system a break. Think of it this way. Think of the runner that's ran a marathon. There's marathon runners, 26.2-mile marathon runners, and then there's a super marathon that they run like 100 miles, and then there's a super marathon that they run like a marathon a day for like 14 days. So imagine running a marathon a day for 14 days. That 15th day, when they rest, their body's going to recover because you're breaking down the muscle tissue, and the only way for it to recover is through rest. Well, every day we're using our digestive system. The stomach is a muscle. The intestines are muscle fibers. So if you give your digestive system a break of 24 or 48 hours, it's going to make you feel a lot better. So the fasting is not detoxifying you at all, but it's going to make you feel better because it's just a healthy thing. Even for animals, I have a purebred husky, and I read up a lot on how to feed them. They say one day a week your dog should fast. 1 day a week. Because their digestive system is he's processing so much. Give him 1 day a week break, and then the next 6 days you continue feeding him. Especially if you're feeding him raw food. So we're the same way. Yeah. So fasting makes you feel better, and it also psychologically makes you feel very, very victorious. Because especially if we have addictions to sugar, to flour, yeah. So if we have those, if we normally wake up and we have a donut and coffee, and tomorrow you don't have that donut and coffee, you feel better about yourself. You feel like you're in more control of your life. So fasting does a lot of good, but it does not detoxify your liver.
So this product, how you hear about leaky gut syndrome and things are going into your bloodstream that are not processed well, and that causes inflammation, and that's a whole different problem. How does that mesh in with this? It still works fine through this process? You can still get enough for your liver?
Yeah, well, see, the leaky gut syndrome is a little bit different. Your leaky gut syndrome, right? Your endothelial cells, right? So you have your gut, you have your intestinal lining, and your intestinal lining is like a web. Now, in your intestinal lining, what happens is that we tend to, because we eat so much bad food, because there's no enzymes in our system, because there's no probiotics in our system, this bad food with the preservatives and the absence of fiber and all the sugars and all the things, all the gluten, all the things, they start to cake around the walls of your intestine. In 1973, the average 30-year-old man was carrying 6.5 pounds of impacted fecal material in their large intestine. In 2012, the average man, 30 years old, is carrying 24.2 pounds of impacted fecal material in their large intestine. So because we are sick, we are a sick society, that fecal material starts to eat away at the intestinal wall, and it makes it very, very brittle. When it makes it brittle, it starts to expand the lining, and that's where toxins go from the intestinal wall into the circulatory system. That's why we see a rise of bacteremia, toxemia, and septicemia, because now you have all these horrific bacteria-laden organisms that are traveling throughout your circulatory system. And that is due one, because there's a toxic liver, two, because we are nutritionally deficient, and three, because right now we are a society that just eats horrendous.
Yeah.
So these products, like, by the way, the one in the black box there, the stick pack, I love that product. I bought literally 5 Detox products at once because I was comparing, and that one, I'm really a believer in the alkalizing your body thing.
Yes.
And it was no comparison. I mean, it was like no comparison with any of the other 5. I tried all 5 of them at once to compare, and it is really, really good. But I've never tried the whole, all 3 pieces of it. So you're saying you just do that one day, or you do that day after day until you're done with the boxes, or what's the plan with that?
This is 24 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this is 30 days.
Oh, okay.
This is 30 days, and this is 24 hours. So the actual physical purging of toxins from your liver occurs within 24 to 48 hours. And the rest of the month, you will stay on this.
Really? Okay.
But
I just mix. I take one of those stick packs in the black thing there, the black stick packs, and I mix it with 1 stick pack of Pollen Burst, which I freaking love Pollen Burst, and it tastes quite good, and it just makes me feel a lot better. But I've never done the whole cleanse thing like that, and I'm actually on 2 different thyroid medicines, so this is perfect information for me. I'm try what you're talking about.
30 days. Do it for 30 days
cool.
faithfully, and you'll see a massive change.
And also, what do you think about structured water? What do you think about structured water that's supposed to be hydrating your cells better? Does it matter really what kind of water?
The more alkaline the water, the better, right? But I really don't think about water that much. But I do try to drink more alkaline water, right? But again, it's the same thing though. It's if you're drinking alkaline water, not you or I, not people in longevity, but if someone is, because there's a lot of companies that sell only water, right? It's like putting good oil into a car that has a dirty filter. So it's good, it's better, right? It's gonna increase the pH of the body, but it's not gonna have the same effect. So there's a lot of people out there that promote alkaline water, and then they do the detox, and they get on 90 for life. And I tell them, continue drinking your water. That's excellent. But your water is just one component. But you want to put that excellent oil, per se, into a car with a brand new oil filter. And when they do that, you get a great result.
Makes perfect sense. And then, so how often should you do the month-long thing? Like the 1-day thing and then the 30 days of the other 2? Yeah. How often?
Well, I want to be clear. This is a 30-day program.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't break it up. This is a 30. How often do you do a 30-day program? If you're, let's say, 30 years old or less or younger, once a year is fine. If you're older, twice a year, once every 6 months. If you have some serious conditions, you can do it once every 4 to 5 months. If someone is severely obese, you can do it once every 4 to 5 months. If someone has been highly medicated for a prolonged period of time, you can do it once every 4 to 5 months. It's not bad. It's all natural. I don't recommend for you to do it more than 2 months consecutively. So, like, let's say someone wants to lose 150 pounds, right? So I'll let them do it twice, one month after another, but then I'll tell them to take a break for about 3 months. Because it does make your liver work a lot.
Okay.
That's so good information. I'm so thrilled to know, like, from you who knows this product more about that stuff. It's
Again,
super helpful. I think it's like foundational. Like the nutrition, like is great. I mean, we all believe in that in a big way, but I mean, it's true. If you're not processing things correctly or whatever, you're not getting the maximum value out of your nutrition that you're taking.
I got a quick question on that. With the sticks, it says on the box that you can take a third of a stick every day for 30 days. So if you do that, can you do that by itself? Does that help just doing that by itself?
100%. It's one of the healthiest things you can do. This is probably, okay, I am 90 for life. So I would tell you, I'm going to tell you what's good and what's not. By the way, the company used to have a different form, a different type of enzymes, but the company has stopped producing those enzymes. This is the company's enzyme now. Okay, the company used the company used to have a longevity enzyme, but they've stopped the production of that. In reference to probiotics, there's Prohoba has a probiotic line. Root Beer Belly is a probiotic. These are probiotics. If you take
Nightly Essence.
Huh?
Nightly Essence.
Oh, really? They have a probiotic?
Aren't they? I thought they had probiotics in there.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that line. Yeah, I'm sure there's several probiotics.
Yeah, they're in a lot of products.
This is a probiotic. This has 12 strains of probiotics. So if you take a third of this a day, every month, it's one of the best things you could do, because our bodies tend to be very acidic. Acidity promotes disease. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's a study that indicated that cancer, as long as your body's immune system is strong and the body's alkaline, cancer cannot develop. It cannot develop in an alkaline, immunely strong body. So taking a third of this is phenomenal. This is what took care of my son's GERD. This is safe for kids also. Oh, that's another question. What's the youngest age someone can detox? This is fine at about 10, 11 years of age. I would give them, for like 11, 10-year-old, I'd give them half the dosage of this. Once they're a teenager, 13, 14, they can do the complete thing. They can do the complete system.
Wow.
So that's good to know. My niece just got diagnosed with hypothyroid, and people have been telling her that she needs to take a liver cleanse. So, and she's 15, 14, 15, somewhere in there. So she could do the whole thing.
Sure. The minute, there's a lot of people that talk about or may be struggling with acne vulgaris, psoriasis, eczema, any type of skin disorder. First, this is your first line of defense, because most of the skin disorders are directly connected with digestive issues. Remember, we're going to evacuate toxins in 3 ways: through our respiration, through our evacuation, and through our perspiration. So toxins have a very short path to getting out through our skin. So when someone has like a psoriasis or eczema or acne vulgaris, detoxify their liver.
Oh, well, that's good to know. We have a lot of psoriasis and eczema in my family too. So,
So this is make your brain clearer too. It does something there.
Well, this definitely will add clarity. It'll give you clarity of consciousness. It'll clear your vision, clear your thoughts. A lot of times, one of the remarks that we get a lot is like, oh my goodness, I was living in this kind of like phase and like this fog, right? And I detox and I'm just clearer. A lot of that has just to do with the toxicity in the body. You've been tired one day, right? You've been burning the candle at both ends and you haven't gotten good sleep, and you finally get a good night's rest and you wake up like refreshed. That's how you feel here.
This is great, but I know you've got a time limit and we're running long because it's such wonderful stuff. So maybe we need to wrap it up, Becky, and let Dr. Arriaza carry on with his planned day.
Well, that's the biggest problem is an hour for a professional network marketer is like 5 minutes. So that's one of the greatest challenges. But again, this is incredible. I love doing this. This is a big step for me, as Becky knows. Me sitting in front of a computer and not in front of real life people. It's something very, very unique and very different. But I can see this working really, really well. So
well, it's so valuable, and it can get out to a million people. It just watch the replays, send them there.
Yes.
So the brain detox thing, is that tied in with this at all, or is that that's like just mental stuff?
Yeah, well, the brain detox is not tied in with the liver detox. I know it has the same word, but it's not connected. The brain detox is just because we learn in different ways, and from the age of 2 to the age of 6 is what we call our life script. And during the age of 2 to the age of 6, we have no filter. So good or bad, happy or sad, godly or non-godly, these things come into our minds and they form programs, they form files, they form conditions. What is your filter is in your prefrontal cortex. But your prefrontal cortex isn't fully formed till you're 19 years old. So you spend the first 20 of your years, of your living years, waking years, 100% vulnerable and gullible to a lot of information, even if the information is not good for you. So by the time we're 25, 35, 45, 55 years old, and we're trying to figure out this thing that we call life, and we get involved with network marketing, by that time, we're married, and we have kids, and we have responsibilities, and we hear and see people, and it makes total sense, but we just can't connect with it. Well, we can't connect with it because we have all these files. We have all these programs. So therefore, it's kind of interesting when people tell others in network marketing, this is what you have to do. Activity. Before action comes attitude. Before attitude comes philosophy. What we should do with people is not tell them what to do, but to help restructure how they think. Because if we help restructure how they think, then the activity will be a logical path, a logical process. You see? So
yes.
People will save a lot of time and a lot of heartache instead of just telling people what to do. You would better help people by detoxifying their thought process. And that's something that we do quite often. Actually, that's something that we do every day. Actually, February 21st, if I can just put a quick plug, February 21st, yep. I'm having a full day Super Saturday, and it's going to be all about personal and mental transformation.
Nice. In the new training center in Cali?
325-seat new training center, yes.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
that's awesome. Yes.
It's open to everybody.
Open to
I think this book is one of the
book right there. That's the book. Yes. She, Dr. Caroline Leaf. That's on February 21st. We're going to be at my center. On February 22nd, we're going to be at the church where she speaks at with Dr. Joel Wallach. And my ultimate goal is have her and Dr. Wallach do something together.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that woman is powerful. I mean, she is unbelievable. She's been in the science of neuroplasticity for 25 years. She is the leading she's a leading guru on neuroplasticity, neurogenesis.
How fascinating. It's just the greatest deal.
Huh?
It's so fascinating. The whole subject it's like the key. It's like the foundational key to things.
Well, many times people that don't know, you hear this a lot. Oh, this is how I am, and this is how I'm always going to be. I was born this way, and I'm going to die this way. That you hear that thought process, and people believe it, and people believe it all the time. But you don't have to. I don't know. I think you were on the call on Monday morning on the Hair on Fire call, and it just came to me, which is really, really true. It may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. So a lot of times, when like last night, I asked people, what are your challenges? Oh, my mom, my dad, my husband, my wife, my kids, I'm tall, I'm short, I'm dark, I'm fair, I'm Latin, I'm not. That's all okay. So I say, it may not be your fault that you weren't raised in a healthy environment. It may not be your fault that you don't have formal education. It may not be your fault that you are a single mom, but it's your responsibility now.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. We're not children, we're grown adults. So it's your responsibility. And the minute that we assume responsibility, we also assume the key to change. And when we assume the key to change, then we just follow certain steps, and we see transformation in our lives. So that's what detoxifying the thought is all about. And that's going to be February 21st. I'm really looking forward to it. Dr. Gold will be there with us. Sanjeev Javi is going to be there with us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's awesome too. So funny, that guy.
Sanjeev?
Sanjeev.
Oh, he's hysterical. Yeah.
He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we could talk another hour, but maybe next month, maybe next time.
Yeah.
And, you what?
No, it's a pleasure, and I know it's been kind of crazy lately, but the Christmas is over, the New Year's is over. My schedule's coming back to where it used to be. Where I part of what we do is a job, right? So the job part is that we have a set schedule. So now that I'm back on schedule, this is wonderful. Doing this on Wednesdays or Thursdays is really awesome.
Cool. Great. Well, I just think it's so valuable, and we can just share with everybody over and over what you know, which you're going to get going more and more because you're already exploding in your whole organization and to different countries, and I just think it's awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to come, and we'll love to have you back as soon as you're able. Okay. And I just really appreciate everything. I think it's so awesome. So
thank you. Thank you both very much. I really appreciate the time. And let me know when we'll do it again, okay?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Doc.
Okay, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for watching this week's show. Be sure to join us next week when we reveal more hidden facts of the Nutrition Health Connection for you.